Today we're reviewing an Eighth Doctor box set. Causeway not.
I think that's got to be the intro.
Causeway is the latest Eighth Doctor box set starring Paul McGett.
No, that's not Paul McGann. That's India
Ah,
Fisher.
the camera flips. I don't know where
That's
I'm.
Mr. Barabas
This is
now.
a disaster. Starring Paul McGann, Jay Griffiths, India Fisher, there in a rather fetching spacesuit from the well.
And Richard Hope as
The
Mr.
first story.
Barabas.
Yeah. It's a disaster. Oh dear. Chaotic energy has ensued today as we look at this rather good Eighth Doctor box set, I
The
think. I really
final.
enjoyed this one.
Is it the final Audacity set? Is this the end of Audacity traveling with McGann and Charlie?
Listen and find out.
But like you said, this is a really stunning box set. It's everything I love about the Eighth Doctor, Charlie, and Audacity stuff. It's great character work and just really lovely vibes and some real solid storytelling.
Yeah, we've been a little critical as of late of the ongoing Eighth Doctor Adventures box set, particularly where we've been getting these 3 hour long stories in a box set, and it feeling like it wasn't perhaps amounting to much. I think even in our Deadly Strangers review, we mentioned the fact that there was no arc, but we were wrong. There was one under our noses the whole time. This Causeway arc that's been bubbling away under the surface, and now it comes to a head in this box set with a one-parter, A Life Amongst the Stars by Rashada Patel, and The Time You Never Had by Tim Foley, the epic two-parter that wraps up this box set. But the two stories rather neatly dovetail into each other at the same time, I think, and complement each other very well in the themes that they're going for and the journey that they take, Audacity in particular.
Yeah,
What her character experiences throughout this.
we,
Yeah,
we we mentioned in our Bramble King review in the Halloween set that it was really good character work for Audacity, and it felt right to be a part in like one of the box sets. This is really putting Audacity front and center with the events, what happened to her, and her living every moment like it's her last, really.
yeah, it's taking her character to a whole new level, really. I think what she's experienced before this, it's showing that all of that is shaping her. And I think as you go forward, you know, these things have to be taken into account, really, these life-changing events, which, yeah, I really rate how both these stories handle that. Yeah, I mean, the first story, Life Amongst the Stars, is probably more of a horror story than anything we got in the aforementioned Halloween box set, actually. I really enjoyed this one, and it really had some creepy moments as well. It's going for a bit more of a harder sci-fi approach. I've really enjoyed Rashana Patel's work as of late, the Dark Gallifrey Missy trilogy, for example. And here she's come up with something truly spooky, as there's this planet with no sun, just it's a rogue planet.
It's
It's
this black
up there
void,
in
isn't it?
between, yeah. And so you've got great moments of cosmic horror here, but also cosmic wonder as well, as Audacity looks up at the sky and the Eighth Doctor points out where Earth would be. It feels very new series in its approach, this story. It's very, perhaps 2005, perhaps 2025. It has some vibes of the well about it, not just in the spacesuit that's on the cover, but
I
also in
would say
old.
oxygen because it's just
Yeah.
the characters and their spacesuits against this black void, and this story, the way it introduces its menace and it just keeps ramping up its tension. It's just really quite masterful. It's nice, like you say, it's a nice blend of like the well, oxygen, and I would say even sort of embrace the darkness, which fits that early McGann feel. What this really goes for, really.
Yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't just feel like a riff on those. It feels very much like its own story as well. And yeah, I think there's some rather wonderful characters in here, particularly Sparky, the robot. I
Yes,
think
we
there's
love a
someone,
robot.
yeah, there is some wonderful discussion there and political commentary on this potential society of the future. You've got this human who's like a specialist where she just downloads knowledge into her head before going on a mission, and then she becomes an expert temporarily in that subject. But she's not necessarily learning that knowledge, she's just spouting it out. And it's sort of, perhaps it's a comment on our current generation who, whenever we need to work out something, we just look it up on
Google.
our phones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it raises some interesting questions, actually, the more you think about this one. It's a wonderful world that has been created around this story of this society of the future. That, yeah, I think it's, yeah, rather, it's underestimated, isn't it, when it
I,
comes to
I,
those things? I think they go under the surface a bit more when you're listening to it because of how well they're done, this world building.
I think this story you can probably overlook this one because obviously it's not the main event, which is obviously the
Mm.
Tim Foley two-parter. But I think that this really sets up the finale in really good stead, really.
Yeah, that's true. Often with these box sets that are made up of a 2 hour story and a 1 hour story alongside it, you sort of feel like you're buying it mainly for the 2 hour story and then you're getting a 1 hour one as a bonus. Here, it doesn't feel that way to me. It feels like this is, you know, very much part of that big event. And yeah, it leads quite neatly into The Time You Never Had, which starts off feeling like quite this epic event that
Grand.
perhaps could be the end of time itself at stake. And while that's certainly all going on, it's a much more personal story in the end when you get into it, particularly like early on in part two. Yeah, it goes to some unexpected places
I
that
love
really touch you. Yeah.
Yeah, I love how Tim Foley has crafted this story where it still feels right for early McGann, but it's still keeping that continuity of, oh, I need to get back to Singapore with Charlie. But then you've got the whole sort of Weber time stuff with the way the story works with Causeway. And Causeway's interesting because, like we said in our Deadly Strange review, we don't think there's an arc going on. We recently re-listened to The Great Cyber War. There is an obvious reference to
Yeah.
the Causeway right there.
Hmm.
And now we get to see that play out here with this massive company, what's taken, Copenhagen.
Yeah, they're sort of trying to bring time travel to everyone, it seems, by exploiting this tear in the fabric of space and time. But what could be coming through from the other side? What could be at stake? Yeah, it
I think that's
ends
an
up being,
interesting commentary on like making time travel accessible, but it's not for the elite, it's for everyone. I think that's quite a
yeah, and it's very true to Audacity as a character as well,
yeah.
where, she was very much railing against the society of her time, where she was on the side of why is all this money and status and stuff? Why are all these fine things just for the rich? Why can everyone not enjoy them? And so here, she's put toe to toe against the Doctor in a way there because he's someone who, is against this idea of, everyone having time travel, not in principle, but in practicality. He knows the risks there, but Audacity, in some ways quite rightly, calls him out on why should you be the one to decide?
Yeah, he's the one
And
who's done
yeah,
it saving Charlie from the R101.
mm,
So it's good commentary there.
yeah, it's like, yeah, I think there is a lot of good commentary throughout this set, really, and some wonderful character moments alongside that, which you can't even get into really because it's just so many surprises in this box set that you really need to listen to for yourself to experience properly to find out how wonderful Mr. Paribus is
Oh,
as a
so
character.
charming, isn't he?
Yeah, this new series Silurian on the cover there, if you're curious about who he is, what his deal is, listen to the story and you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, because
Even though,
part two, it just flips everything the story's doing, and it just goes, we're just going to do character. And
yeah,
it works so well because you're like, this is perfect. This is genuinely really quite a perfect, like you say, personal, touching little story with Audacity and Mr. Barabbas.
yeah, and Charlie and the Doctor all at the heart of it. Yeah, goes to some unexpected places with this quartet. You've got some other characters as well involved in the Causeway, circling around that. Yeah, yeah, it all makes for a really enjoyable listen with some great world building and some brilliant character work, some intriguing mysteries. It sets itself up beautifully for the future. I can honestly say I'm really excited to see where this arc goes next. I'm
Listen,
looking forward to the next Eighth Doctor Charlie on Audacity box set.
I mean, listen to the post-credit scene. There's a little bit extra. You're not
Yeah.
quite finished with it, so that will give you an idea where we're going next with these characters.
Mm. Yeah, and overall, it's the strongest Eighth Doctor box set in a good while, I'd say.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't. I mean, what lies inside and Audacity, the two other box sets in this range that have featured two-parters. Yeah, I don't know how I'd rank this compared to those actually, because
They're all doing something
oh,
very different, I feel.
yeah, hmm. This one in particular with its two-parters is doing something very different, but at the same time, it's got the strongest one-parter
I think
of
it's probably the
these three
strongest
sets.
box set.
Yeah, overall. But yeah, I do feel like, yeah, those two-parters from What Lies Inside and Audacity, yeah, they're on another level. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you've listened to this box set, let us know down below whether it's your favorite of the current run of Eighth Doctor Adventures. And if it's not, then what is? Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below.
I mean, for me, one last comment. I think the Audacity stuff is proving to be some of the best McGann stuff, and I think that this box set encapsulates this four box set run wonderfully. It's a distillation of these characters with great vibes and just solid character work throughout, really.
I'm gonna play it better myself, to be honest. So, but if you think you can play it better yourself,
You probably can, and that's fine.
yeah, head down to the comments and right away, and we'll see you next time.
Or will we? I can't remember.
Mm, Can you not?
No.
I'm sure it'll come back to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Take care, everyone.
Bye bye. Hello. Bye.
And welcome to this review.
Because
Causeway
I
Mod.
can.
Causeway can.